folks, my name is Stephanie and I am the New England Stitcher, and I am here today. It is March 22nd, and this evening I'm joined by my oldest daughter, Jules. She is home from April vacation. Nope, I lied. It's spring break. I have April vacation coming up in a couple weeks, but she's home for spring break, and we've really enjoyed spending the week with her. She's been a little bit busy with her friends too, but we've gotten some time together. Sorry, she just gave me a look. But anyway, sorry. So I'm just happy to have her. You know, for any of you folks out there who have kiddos that come back from college, you're just so happy to see them. You just want to hug them. And I'm embarrassing her. Sorry. So anyway, my name is Stephanie, if I forgot to say that. And I am happy today to share with you all of my stitching and my quilting, and yeah, let's just get started. Thank you for finding me, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming and hanging out. I feel like I'm totally off my game today. I don't even know why, but maybe it's because I teach. I'm a teacher, and I worked all day today, and then we came home to do this because this weekend is going to be a little bit busy, bringing her back to school, and it's Palm Sunday. So yeah, just a little bit busy. So what have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of stitching. I've been doing, I've just been busy. There's big piles, and this might be a long video, folks, but I'm going to try and break it up. So if you only want to see the stitching part, you can just watch that. If you want to see some of the other things, I got a little tutorial that we're going to put in here. I'm going to do a little retreat talk, and then I'll talk about the quilt behind me. And yeah, so thanks so much for being here, and let's get started. My starts. I have a few. The first one that I want to share is stored in my Pride and Prejudice Whipper Keeper that I made. And can you guess what's inside? Maybe. This is Pride and Prejudice by Twin Peak Primitives, and I'm going to have Jules insert a picture of the cross stitch pattern in here, but it has got Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy and Pemberley behind, and so far all I've gotten stitched is the center emblem that has Elizabeth and, sorry, it's upside down. Oh, you're like, what is wrong with her? Yes, I think it's because I worked. I think it was because I worked all day today, and I think my mess up from last week, I was watching Floss Bus and Cousins a couple weeks ago after I had done my video, and I just felt like that last video was just like a hot mess express, and I was watching them, and they had like it was Callie, and Callie had said, I forget, like she messed up Brenda Gervais' name, and I started laughing, and I really blame all of that on the time spring forward, right? So I think for me today, I'm just going to blame it on the fact that I worked this today, and I've been up since 5 o'clock. I don't know. That's what I'm going to blame it on. But anyway, so this is my Twin Peak Primitives Pride and Prejudice, and it's got Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, and if you don't know, his first name is Fitzwilliam. But anyway, I'm a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. I love everything Jane Austen, and it's funny, I didn't love her when I had to read her for my English literature class. I don't know if any of you felt that way when you were in school, but I guess I just never had an appreciation for books because my mom and dad didn't really read books in front of me. So as a kid growing up, I didn't really love books. And I always had to go to the library and get the smelly, stinky ones from the library. So yeah, sorry, so totally sidetracked. But as an adult, when I left, graduated college, moved to New York City. And when I was living in New York City, my roommate, she loved to read. And I was just like, wow, what is inside these books that she is so enamored with? So I ended up getting one of these subscriptions where you get one of those nice leather-bound books once a month. Well, I got one of those subscriptions, and I got the classics, and it was 100 books you should read in your life. So every month I'd get a new book, and I started reading, and then I fell in love. And I started reading the books that I should have read back in my English literature class, and the rest is history. And now I just love reading, and I'm addicted to it too. So anyway, and when I can't read and I do cross stitch, I can listen to books on tape, which is not books on tape because it's Audible, but you know what I'm saying. Yes, a child of the 80s. We had books on tape. My daughter's, she's laughing. So anyway, so yeah, so that is my first whip. And just in case anybody is curious, I am stitching this on the sampler on Mellow Stone. It's a 20 count, and I started it on March 1st. And that's where that's what it is. So I guess forgot to show it in my last video. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that is my first whip, and it was my for anybody who's interested, it was my Boss Me call. So right now I've only got 3 days. I'm looking at my calendar right now. I've got 3 days on it, and I need to do 2 more days. So tonight when I finish the video, I'm gonna go upstairs and Jules is gonna edit, and I'm gonna stitch sitting next to her. And yeah, that'll be my 4th day, and then I'll have 1 more, and then I'll get all of that in for my Boss Me board. And for those of you who do not know, Boss Me is just like Whip Go. It just has a different name. It was the brainchild of the Boss Stitchers and 2 Needles Pulling Thread, and Boss Me stands for Boss Main. And the Boss Me board is, like I said, just like Whip Go, but you can put anything on it. It's like a heifer board, you know, same thing, just a different name. But anyway, yeah, so that is my first start. My second start, I started with my very dear friend, Brandi from B&E Stitchery. And for those of you who subscribe to them, that is awesome. They are my dear friends. And if you do not subscribe to them, you should definitely go check them out. That is B&E Stitchery. And they are a mother-daughter duo, and they crack me up. And I just love them. And I feel like I've known them for 100 years. You know, it's just those friendships that you meet people and you just feel like you know them forever. So Brandi, she's always up for starting something with me, which is something I love. And I think some of you may have started it too. And thank you to the subscriber who let me know that the spring equinox is on the 19th, not the 21st. So thank you. So I did start this, and it is Tis Spring, and it's by Brenda Gervais. And I am stitching with the Called for Colors. I'm stitching it on 20 count vintage country mocha. I wrote a 40 instead of a 20. I'll have to change that. Tis Spring, and yes, it's my spring equinox style. And in case you're wondering what I'm reading it on, I'm just reading what I wrote. That's a little bit blurry. Let me see if I block my face. There it is. Tis Spring. And I'm writing them on these little cards that I made up, and I keep them on my floss. That way, if I drop my floss, and it's not, if I leave it on the, I don't know, if it's not with my stuff, I find it, at least I know what project it goes to, and then I have it all together and I won't forget. And you want to see it, here's my stitching. So this was just a couple days stitching. I'm really loving it. I did do a center start. I started with the tulips, and then I came down, did the grass, and now I'm working slowly on the house. And I was actually talking to another viewer, Leslie. So Leslie, I think I've decided, Leslie pointed out, so for those of you who haven't stitched this yet, the pattern, the picture, let's start with the picture. The picture shows the house, where my finger, the house with the windows filled in. But on the pattern, it's not filled in. And I haven't been able to find any corrections anywhere. So maybe if there are some now, that's great. I went to Brenda's website or her blog, and I couldn't find anything. And I also went to her website. I couldn't find anything. I talked to a couple other people to see if they knew where else I should be looking for any corrections on a pattern. So anyway, I think I love this. I love the picture. So I'm probably going to stitch the house color inside those windows, because on the pattern, it shows that there's no stitching, but in the picture it is stitched. So in case you haven't stitched it, or if you've got it and you just haven't looked at it yet, now you know what to look for. In case you're wondering what I'm keeping it in, this is the very first project bag I ever made. Yeah, I made a thread bed to go with it. The lemurs are upside down. There's a seam somewhere. Yeah. Oh, here. Yeah, there's a seam right here. This was just these were scraps from a quilt that that I made, and I think you saw it a couple weeks ago. It was the Lady of the Lake. This was the fabric, the lemur fabric that was on the back of it, and it was just a scrap that, you know, I was gonna keep for something. So I ended up making it into a project bag, and I did a long skinny one because I only had a short zipper. But yeah, scraps are great. You can do anything with them. So that's my first ever project bag. And then I made one for my friend Sarah. We laugh about it all the time at school because Sarah, she always gets like my prototypes of things. So sorry. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for being willing to accept any of my prototypes. So I only have 2 starts for the last 2 weeks that we've been together. We've been without each other. That's all I have. So now I'm going to start my whips. My first whip, and this was a start after talking to my friend Brandi from B&E Stitchery. I told you, I think we're going to call this video the one with all the stitch alongs, or, you know, maybe it's just like stitch everything, right? Because that's kind of how I feel. Like I just want to stitch everything. And I know some of you feel that same way. So anyway, this is a pattern by a dear friend, Erin Elizabeth. And if you haven't gone and seen Erin, please go check out Erin. Buy her patterns because her patterns are awesome. She is so kind, and she's just an awesome person. But Erin Elizabeth, this is her bunny. And I don't know if you can see how just stinking cute he is, or she. But to me, in the picture, and I'll have Jules insert a picture of the bunny pattern here. I think the bunny looks like it's smiling. I don't know. I just love this bunny. I told her when she showed us, she was stitching it. And when she showed us the bunny, I was like, I have to do it because I feel like this bunny would be great friends with Jeanette Douglas's bunny, Chubby Bunny, right? Because the thing Chubby Bunny is facing this way and her bunny is facing that way. So you can make them into like 2 cute little pillows, and they could be facing each other. I don't know. Do any of you make up little stories with your stitching? Like, oh, this bunny's going to have a little friend. I don't know. I think I'm a wackadoodle. I don't know. But anyway, I am stitching that little cute bunny on a Grace Note fabric. It's an 18 count. I can't find the color, but if you know it, let me know. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's perfect. And I think once I put those peachy, here's the colors. Once I put the peachy colors, and you can't even see the peachy colors, but once I put these peachy colors in here, I just think I think they're gonna pop really well. So, sorry. Yeah, so I have, I started this on March 8th, and I did replace one color. So I did change 3362 to 927. I've talked about this in my last video. I kitted all of this up from stash, and I had to do a replacement. And Emma, Brandi's daughter, Emma from B&E Stitchery, she was super helpful. She had her DMC card book with the flosses on it and was helping me figure out the right replacement for the color that I was missing. And I'm just keeping it on, you know, like I said, my little card. I did make a new little charm though, because I know I'm going to make this into a shirt. But in my cross stitching era, yep, because Taylor Swift, right? My oldest daughter loves Taylor, and we're actually going to go see Taylor in concert in Toronto. Looking forward to that trip a lot. We're going to go up in November to Toronto. So yeah, it's crazy how much the tickets were in the United States, and the tickets, how inexpensive they were in Canada. So thank you, Canada. But I'm keeping this one in my my cow whipper keeper that I made. I just love it. Isn't that butt just this cutest little thing? Just love it. So anyway, that is another whip. Another whip I have, I've been stitching this in the mornings, actually. I'm finding it a really nice thing to stitch. So I get up at 5 in the morning every day, and I'm ready by 5:45. So like 45 minutes to, you know, get ready, do my face, hair, whatever, and brush my teeth. And by the time I pack my lunch and make my breakfast, it's like 5:45. So I eat my breakfast and then I put on, this is such a dork. I know I'm not alone. I know Chris, the camping stitcher, Chris watches this with me, but there's a show that is currently on Hulu called Maine Cabin Masters, and I'm so addicted. First of all, I love the show because when I watch the show and I listen to the folks that are talking, they have the Maine accent, and it makes me think of my stepdad. My stepdad passed away probably 13 years ago, and I don't know. It just makes me happy, you know. Like it's like I hear his voice, kind of a thing. So I love watching that channel or that show, and I'll eat, you know, and then I start to stitch. And so what am I stitching? I'm stitching Maine, my happy place, and I got this pattern from the Crafty Grimalkin up in Bangor, Maine, when I visited with Brandi and Emma in January. And I know that Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread, Kathy is also stitching it. I think she might be further along. I think she actually has all of the vines done, but here's where I've got. So I think the last time you saw it, I think I had Maine done, but I didn't have any of the vines. I could be wrong. But this is how far I've gotten. And I am stitching it with, let's start. I'm stitching it on, it's by first of all, the pattern is by the Elegant Thread. And you can get it from Reese up at the Crafty Grimalkin. And if you want to, get what I've got, I'm stitching it on Atomic Ranch 32 count Vintage Smoky. And I am using Dinky Dyes. I'm using Coral Lagoon. I'm using Nutwood. I'm using Dreamtime and Swan Valley. And these are the colors right here. So, and they're so beautiful. These silks are wonderful. Yeah, so that is my main, my happy place stitch. And I'm keeping it in my blueberry, / strawberries Whip a Keeper that I made. I just felt like it was very fitting. So yeah, and I'm going to turn it into a pillow when I'm done. I'll now keep it in my bedroom next to my bed on my table because it makes me happy. All right, my last whip, did not get a whole lot on this. I think I only stitched it maybe one more time, like one more sitting after I chatted. Nope, I have one more actually. After I chatted with you guys. But this is by Heart and Hand, and it is Christmas Means More. I don't know, I just had a feeling one day, maybe a month ago, to start up this project. It's been kitted for a while. I just didn't start it. All I've got done is Chris. So yeah, that's it. It's a middle start, and I apologize for not having any more. But I am using all of the called for floss, and it's being stitched on 32 count Sand Dollar by Tropical Stitches. Yes, so it's all, sorry, and it's being kept in this project bag that I made. Sorry, that was not very elegant. You guys, I'm totally off my game. I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping I'm providing some comic relief for you while you're stitching. So enjoy. The next whip I have is it's called Create, and it's on this bag. This bag is a bag I purchased from the Fat Quarter Shop. It's just their mesh bag, and in case you can't see, like if you've never seen it before, the mesh is really great for stitching things on. Shepherd's Bush has a ton of patterns that are great for these. I think there's one called Scary. That's one of my favorites. So there's Scary. There's so many, and I know that Stitching with the Housewives did one for a retreat that was, I think that was held last summer. It was like a 4th of July that was done. But I think any really cute little small would look good on this. And so at not the end of the video, but a little bit later in the video, a viewer had asked me to show how I stitch on the on the mesh bag. So I'm going to show you. Jules is going to help me hook up the camera so that it's an overhead type thing, and you can see how I am stitching in the bag. It's not that bad, I promise. If I can do it, you can do it. So, but this will be this is going to be a retreat small. It's not a big stitch. So anyway, that is create every day. And those are all of my whips. All right, folks. So if you are interested in learning how to make this bag, this is what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take all of the things out, and what kind of thread I use is the pearl cotton. I believe it's pearl cotton number 5, and I'll show you that because I left one with the tag on. Yeah, so I think that shows that it's the pearl cotton number 5. DMC pearl, but I think this is the number 5 because it's got that number 5 there. So I use a lot bigger of a needle. Sorry, I'm trying to find the camera. Yep, so there's the needle. I don't know what size this is. I think it's a 22, but I'm going to stitch on the red right now for you. This is not a long enough piece of strand. Here is a better one. So this is the length that I like to use, and I'm going to use my measuring. This is about 18 inches. Okay. I have some that are 9 inches. 9 inches is good, but you're going to be changing it an awful lot. So here's what I do. I showed you this waxing trick. Sorry, my wax is gross because of all the lint, but so this is my waxing trick. So I wax just the tip, and I'm going to get it nice and waxy. I'm going to end up cutting this part off, so I don't mind. But here we go. I'm threading the needle. I twist it. Okay, now I've got it started. What I do, because I have to reach my hand into the bag, I puff up the bag, and then I take my pattern. Right, this is the free pattern from Teresa Kogut. You can get it on the Fat Quarter Shop website. I hold it upside down, so it doesn't look upside down to you, but it does to me. And I have it there, and then I go through. Let me show you what the inside looks like. Somebody asked also, do I cover it with some, do I cover it? And I don't. Once I stitch it, it's stitched. I try to make sure I do a really good job anchoring it. So that's what it looks like. Yes, I know it's not perfect. I'm definitely a messier stitcher, and you're getting it. This is like seeing all my secrets, right? So I'm going to go through. You kind of got to manhandle a little bit the bag. So I'm going to go through and, can you see that okay? I'm going to go through and try and get a good anchor sticking through the stitches on this side. And you do have to tug a little bit. Okay, so now my next stitch, all right, so I am just got to get my bearings. Okay, so I've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to do 6 of these. I've got 2, so I have 4 more I need to go through. And I'm sorry for all the jostling, but you kind of, like I said, you kind of got to manhandle it a little bit. So this is how I go for it. And I try to keep my stitches on top. Okay, so I just did that first X. Let me see if I can bring it up closer. Okay, so I've done that first X. I'm going to come through, and then I'm going to go back through. So you could poke and stab, but I find this method to be a lot faster. And I think that this, I mean, again, I'm self-taught. I mean, I only know what I know from watching YouTubers and Kimberly Jolly, but this is, I think, what they would call the sewing method. Okay, so that's my second row, and I gotta do 3 more. So here I am. I'm going through, and I usually try to get that first stitch by poking and stabbing, and then I can just stay on top. And one more. So there are the 2 rows I just did, and I hope that that makes sense. I will, and then when I finish it off, I would just, you know, slide through and go through and like secure it like you would any stitch. This pearl cotton is pretty thick. It's just that one strand, but it's thick, so it does fill the holes. You do get some really nice coverage on it. Is that looking okay, Jules? Like, am I in? No, you're not. Yeah. All right, I'm trying to stay in frame, folks. I'm really sorry. Nicole Spore, I do not know how you do it. You are amazing. I know you and Jessica, you guys have got the setup. If you saw what my house, like what I have everything on, I've got my daughter's, her computer is way better than my computer. So we're using hers, and, so I can kind of see what I'm doing, and that's sitting on top of a tissue box. Oh, it's pretty funny, actually. All right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more, and then that'll be it for this part. But I hope that this helps. I hope that this encourages you. I hope that this inspires you to do this. If you are a person who receives the Stitch Quarterly, then you do get these mesh bags. So you probably have a lot just like me. And you could, oh my goodness, sorry, my fingers are super slippery. You could definitely give these away as a gift, make them for yourself, personalize them, because it really goes pretty quickly, stitching on the bags. So there's that. My stitches are not perfect, but I am not perfect. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm doing rainbow color. And then at the bottom, I will have where it says every day, that will be in black. And then I have the needle in black, and then I have the X's in reverse rainbow color. That's how I have it. That's how I did it before, and that's how I'll do it again for this one, because I think it makes it really cute. So if you are interested in stitching on these bags, give it a try. Pearl cotton number 5. I think this is the size, like I said, size 22 needle. It's got a big eye, and I think the wax really helps keep well, first of all, thread, but keep the needle as you're pulling through, because it does, like when you start getting a couple rows in there, it does get a little tight. But yeah, I hope this helps. I hope it answers your questions. And then I'm gonna fill it with a lot of fun things for my smalls exchange. I actually had 3 fully finishes, and I'm going to count. Maybe you think it's a cheat, I don't know. But so I have been stitching the Quaker birds with the ladies from Stitch New England. There's 9 of us in the group, and each one of us chose a color, and we're rotating. So I'm going to keep stitching my color on all 9 of my friends' pieces. And so I just stitched this piece right here. No, I lied. This one right here. I stitched that one on Rise's, I believe. And I stitched this one on Karen's. So I just put them in the mail on Monday, and they should have arrived to Jenny, who's the person I mail to. They should have arrived to Jenny on Wednesday. I think they were scheduled to arrive on Wednesday. So I'm hoping Jenny gets them, but I'm going to count them as a finish because I am never going to touch them again, and my part on those are finished. So I'm going to have my daughter Jules insert 2 pictures of those finishes, and I'm keeping them in my Whipper Keeper that I made for friends at Stitch New England, because it was my first retreat and I was just so excited. I'm using the color, the color that I'm stitching with. Sorry, the color that I'm stitching with is Peacock by Gentle Arts, and I'm stitching mine on Atomic Ranch 16 count vanilla cream. I believe there are maybe 6 of us that are stitching the vanilla cream, and then nope, I think there's 8 of us. No, I can't count today. There's 7 of us stitching on vanilla cream, and 2 people have different colors. Karen was one of the people I was stitching on, and hers was a different color, and it's beautiful. I really loved how the teal from the Peacock was showing up on it. It looks so good. The other finish, I'm going to hold it up like this because I can't show it. It's a secret stitch. See? It's a finish. But this is for the Brenda Gervais Smalls Exchange. And I am actually, I know it's not a secret, but I'm stitching for Mrs. Jones, Holly Jones. So that is what I'm stitching it. So excited. So I got everything to finish it. So I'm going to finish it this weekend. At some point, with all the things we have to do. I'm hoping to finish it at this weekend so that I can get it in the mail. I forget the date, but I don't know. I just want to get it done because, you know, the weekends are going by so fast, and I don't ever want to be that person who's late for anything. Does anybody else feel like that? I have to lie and tell my husband that we have to be someplace like a half an hour early just so that we get there on time. He hates to be early for things, and I would rather sit and wait for somebody than have them sit and wait for me. I don't know. I'm just a weirdo, I guess. But those are my finishes for this week. Those fully finished objects. Are you ready? Because I am so excited. Okay, so this is I showed it last week. This is Gathering Clovers. Oops, sorry. And it is by Luminous Fiber Arts. And I'll tell you what it's stitched on in a minute. And I finished it with this fabric from my stash. I don't remember where it came from. I did a ladder stitch on the bottom. I tried to find some sort of trim, but I couldn't find anything that was the right shade of green. I know this is a little bit loud for it, but I figured that's okay because it's in the back. But I just couldn't find a good green that I had in my stash, and I haven't had a chance to go to the store. But I love how it came out. It makes me very happy because I don't have a whole lot of St. Patrick's Day finishes. I think I have 3, so this will be my 4th. I have a lot of St. Patrick's Day patterns. I just don't have a lot of things done. So I'm going to rectify that. I feel like if every season I do one, then I'm building up my finishing. So anyway, in case you're interested in knowing what I stitched this, I stitched this on 32 count vintage smoky, and I use the Belsois collard greens thread. So 32 count vintage smoky Belsois cottage green threads. These are buttons that I had gotten at a antique shop with the girls. There was a big jar. I actually just liked the jar. It was one of those old ball jars that had like the little metal latch thing. I just loved those jars. But anyway, there was full of buttons, and I found 2 that fit perfectly in that spot. So I think they work. I like that they're not, it's kind of like a little yellow, like when you tilt it to a side. I like that because then it kind of brings in the yellow of that green. But it makes me happy, and I think that's all that matters, right? There's mistakes, but if I don't point them out to you, and you don't look too hard, you won't notice them. So anyway, that is my first fully finished object. In case you want to know too, I did stuff it with some poly, and I stuffed it with walnut shells. So just to give it some weight so that it will, you know, sit nicely in the bowl. So that is my first fully finished piece, and I can enjoy it next year. And then my second fully finished piece. Okay, this is my first time ever pinning. I've laced, I've hot glued, but I've never pinned. My sister-in-law, she's an amazing cross stitcher. She finishes all of her own pieces. She's amazing. If I can ever convince her to come on the channel or let me do a video with her when I visit her in Vermont, I will try my very best. Or maybe she'll let me take pictures of her work, because her house is filled with the cross stitching, and it's gorgeous. She does a lot of the things that I don't do. Like right now she's working on a dragon for her son, my nephew, by Teresa Wensler, and it's not my style, because she can do some full coverage stuff. I mean, I do understand the concept of parking the threads. I mean, I'll park a couple, but if I go more than like 2 shades, then I get lost. And she can, you know, I love watching floss tubers who do full coverages, because it's something I know nothing about, and I'm amazed by how they stay organized, because I think they're beautiful. They look like photographs when they're done, and that's how her stitching is. So anyway, back to my story. I actually framed and pinned and finished. So excited. And I was listening to, if anybody doesn't watch them, please go watch them, because they're amazing. But Molly and Kathy from Linen and Scraps, I love you girls. I just do. I want to come to Texas. I want to come hang out with you. I just want to come play in your craft room, Molly. I just want to scrapbook, paper craft, cross stitch, do anything. I want to come hang out with you. I know I sound like a scary stalker. But anyway, when Kathy was talking about, in their last video, they were talking about pinning and how to pin to make sure you try to get it even. I think I did a pretty good job for my first time. Obviously there'll probably be mistakes, and I probably screwed up somewhere, but I'll show you what I did, and then I'm sure some of you will leave feedback. I probably won't change it, because to me it's done and I'm happy with it. But here it is. This was my frame from Michael's that cost $8, and I learned that trick from Kathy from Linen and Scraps. And she said, go to the back. And I went to the back and I didn't see them. And then I asked the lady at Michael's, where do you find their frames that are kind of messed up that nobody wants? And she's like, oh, they're hanging over there. So I went, I looked, I found, and I loved. So there's no glass on this. I did use I used acid-free foam board. I got the acid-free one. And then I pinned it all around. And I used a piece of acid-free scrapbooking paper, because I used to be a scrapbooker. It feels like 5,000 years ago. And I actually just used the acid-free tape that you use with scrapbooking to tape it down. So I just need to screw in like a little hanger, but that's it. And I love it, and I'm so excited, and it makes me so happy. I think I'm off a little bit on the bottom, but this is going to go in my bedroom, and nobody's going to see it except for me. And I know that there are mistakes, but this was my first 40 count my first 40 count piece that I ever stitched on, and I'm just so happy that it's done, because now I get to appreciate it, and I think that's what it's about, right? It's about lifting each other up, right? So I'm lifted, and I hope that this makes you happy and it lifts you up too. So if anybody is interested in this color conversion, the color conversion for this is located on my community tab. So if you go to my FlossTube channel, like the main channel of my channel, the New England Stitcher, and you click on the community, you'll find the conversion that I used for the blues. And then I know Chris, the camping stitcher, she's made some serious progress on hers. A few other people have reached out asking for the blues of this. I just love them. They just make me happy. But anyway, that's my fully framed piece. So, and it's nice. It's really light without the glass. So yeah, I love it. And thank you for humoring me through my excitement. So I have a few previous finishes that I would love to share with you. Easter is in 2 weeks, and I would love to share with you a few things that I did last year. So I did these. I was inspired by Nicole Spohr. If you don't watch Nicole is an amazing paper crafter, and she also has amazing tutorials and videos. She does some great stitch alongs, but these both, I'll do one at a time. These are both little pillows that I made, and they are, the pattern is by Cherry Hill Stitchery. I believe that's correct. If not, I will have Jules insert something there. But they were PDF patterns I purchased as soon as Nicole showed them, and I was like, yeah, I have those 3 colors. I could totally do that. And then this pom-pom I bought from, I think it was at TJ Maxx actually, and I got this little pink gingham fab. I think that was also a TJ Maxx purchase. But anyway, that's how I finished these little pillows that are filled with polyfill and walnuts. They've kind of deflated a little bit, but oh well. Yes, my pillow making skills have definitely improved since I made these. I don't want to show you the back, but I will. See, and if you look really close at the bottom, you'll see all my boo-boos. But anyway, I like them. They're cute. They're happy little bowl fillers. And I have carrots and things like that to go with them. The other fully finished I have is a Brenda Gervais piece, and I fell in love with this pattern when I saw Annie the Proper Stitcher. I just love Annie. Annie the Proper Stitcher did this, and she actually did the whole piece, but it's something on Bunny Hill, but it's a Brenda Gervais piece. I'll find it and I'll have it put here at the bottom, but this is how I finished it. I left out the ABCs of this pattern. I think there was like scattered ABCs all up in the sky. I got this wooden piece from Target in their dollar spot. I think it was a $3 piece of wood that was cut out. And then I just found some fabric that I mounted a circle to, mounted the board, and then I put this rickrack in between, and then I frayed up the bow. So that is my pattern. And I really wish I had written down what I stitched it on. I'm thinking it is 36 count. I think it's a 36 count based on the size of the stitches. But yeah, that is, but those little chicks on the bottom, those are little cute chicks. And I love the variegation in the basket. That was before I realized when I was stitching, I find like now I would definitely have gone side to side, so I'd get the variegation going side to side rather than doing my stitching up and down. This was early on in terms of like using variegated threads. I hadn't really learned that yet, but yeah, that is my fully finished Brenda Gervais piece, something Bunny Hill. So, all right. So, do you remember how I said at the beginning of this video, I want to stitch all the things? Well, I really do want to stitch all the things. So, I'm going to talk about some plans that I have coming up. And if you want to join along, I would love for you to join along. I don't have any hashtags yet, but if you are stitching along, please tag me in Instagram so that I can see what you're doing. I would love to see that, because everybody keeps talking about how the hashtags are not working, or they're not working correctly. But I don't have a hashtag for anything, but I would love for you to, if you are stitching with me, show me, please. I would love to see it. So this is my plan for the next week. I have 5 days. This is my Boss Me other pull. This was my other call. And I'm sorry, I didn't take it out of the bag. This is Halloween This Way. The pattern is by the Primitive Hair. I really love them. I love their fabric. So this was my Boss Me Pull. I have not started my 5 days on it yet, but I still have time. I know it's weird because it's Easter and I'm gonna be stitching Halloween, but that's okay. I'm gonna just enjoy it, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry it's not ironed, but here it is. This is as far as I've gotten. I do need to finish. My goal will be to actually start to outline this sign, and that I really would love to get all of the signs out, all of the signs outlined, and that way when I go to a retreat, I do have retreat plans, but it's nice to, this is on 30 count. I can see it really well without magnification, and that way I can just fill in, because I hate filling. And if you distract me with talking, I think I'll be okay. Shopping, I'm gonna shop all the time, but if you distract me from talking, that would be great. So what am I stitching it on? I'm stitching it on that 30 count from Primitive Hair. That is the called for fabric, and I am using all of the called for floss. Okay, so that is next week's plan. It is in this bag that I made. It's with Teresa Kogut Halloween fabric. Yeah. My next plan after that starts on April 1st. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're old, you heard me last week. Last week I was talking about my birthday, and on my birthday, April 1st, I am going to be doing a birthday sal. This is my very first birthday sal, because why not? So I am using the pattern by Annie the Proper Stitcher, and if I can go correctly, it is Strength and Dignity, and it is an absolutely gorgeous pattern. I've decided what I'm stitching the fabric on, or sorry, what fabric I'm stitching on. So I'm going to be stitching it on 36 count waterfall by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm going to use the called for colors, except to help tie in my favorite color, blue, being blue. And I loved the blues from Wisdom that I used. I figured maybe I would use these blues in the house down here in the bottom, and then keep everything else the same. So here are the colors on that blue. I think they're really pretty, especially these two, the Brethren Blue and the Deep Fennel. Those are, like I said, those are the colors from Wisdom, but they're going to go on this waterfall. And if you can't see, I'm trying to get it so you can kind of see it. To me, this just looks like the sky. And I think with the, I should have brought a board over, but I think with those flowers and the branches against that blue, I think it's just going to be beautiful. So Annie, thank you so much for designing such a beautiful pattern that has really strong meaning, and I love it. And I just wanted to say that I think Annie, first of all, you're amazing, but I do want to say to everybody that Annie has so graciously offered to give a pattern, one of these patterns, a digital version, to one of my subscribers. So we'll have a giveaway at the end, and what you'll do is you'll send me your email if you're the winner, and then I will pass that along to Annie, and then you can get started stitching with me on this sal. So I think it's going to go very quickly, but I'm very excited. So I'm keeping it in a bag that I made. This is using fabric by Corey Yoder, if anybody knows Corey Yoder. And again, it's just a bag I quilted up, made it, yeah. This is when I was experimenting, so I actually didn't use the foam. I used just quilt batting, and I free motioned quilted like little swirls. So it's a little lighter and more bendy. I have a few other plans that are coming up. I have at the, I'm having a brain fart. I'm so sorry. My brain is not working. I think it's because I have part of it in the hall, but I'll show that when I get there too. But on April 18th, I'm going to be starting the Blackbird Violets Blue. Myself, Nise Stitches, and Brandi are going to be starting that at the Library Stitchers Retreat. And that we'll do that on one day. And then the second day, we're going to be doing the Good Intent. And I'll show you the Violets Blue and what I've chosen in the haul, because I kitted it up. I haven't kitted this one up yet because I haven't decided if I want to do the dark color here or if I want to do the light color. I haven't decided. I mean, I think I'm definitely going to go that colorway, but how that would look on, you know, the fabric, I'm gonna play around with it. I'm going to Stitch New England on Wednesday night for stitch to stitch with my friend Sarah. I know I'm meeting up our friend Deborah, and we'll see Pam from Stitch New England. Yeah, it'll be a good time. So while I'm there, I will find some fabric that I like and that goes with the colors. Yeah, and maybe I'll change the colors. Who knows? I'll definitely share. So that is going to be on the second day. So on April 18th, I'm going to do Violets Blue. On April 19th, I'm doing Good Intentions. I am going to be kitting up. I am so bad. I am so bad. But if you're bad like me, just join the club. So I'm going to be doing Let Love Rain because a lovely viewer, she had an extra one and she shared it with me. And then Michelle from Two Bay Stitchers. If you don't watch them, you should go watch them. They're from Canada, and they're just absolutely lovely. Michelle, she started it already, but I'm just going to jump on in and start with her. How I'm going to do it, I'm going to be just doing, let me see if I can find it. I'm going to be just doing that flower basket. So I'm going to try and find a picture of that, just that flower, of, well, maybe of the whole thing. And then, yeah. So, so the flower basket is just this one piece. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually bring up the border, and then I'll bring the border that way across. So I'll take this top border, bring it down, and move this up, and then it'll just be a piece like that. So I believe there's another YouTuber out there doing it. I didn't come up with this on my own, but they talked about it, and I thought that would just be absolutely wonderful. I do love all those flowers. They're absolutely gorgeous. And then those moths with it. Yeah, really, really beautiful. So that is my plan. I'm going to be stitching that with Michelle. So if you want to jump on in, you've got this pattern, you want to come hang out and play with us, please join us. There's nothing wrong with a Startaholic group. You know, I'll be the first one to sign up because I am feeling like now I am an officially Startaholic. Okay, so the other thing we're going to be doing, we have Nise and Brandi have birthdays in May, and we are going to be starting, I believe, 2 projects for them. We're doing the JBW, and I'll show you that when I go through my haul because I got that all kitted up. And then we're also doing the Mighty Oak. And if I'm wrong, girls, you can hit me later. No, I'm just kidding. But the Mighty Oak, I know many people have stitched it. Annie, the proper stitcher, she stitched it. It's absolutely beautiful. And wouldn't it be lovely to be working on this at Stitch New England when the leaves are falling and it's October and it's just my favorite time of the year? Yeah, so that's just beautiful. I mean, those oak leaves up there, yeah, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. The house, ooh, you know what? I love the house of mine in Wisdom, and I used the Brother in Blue. I wonder if I should do that in Brother in Blue because it has a really beautiful variegation. All right, see, something to think about. But I'm going to kit this up when I go on Wednesday as well. And then one more thing to kit up is this one. This one is the Autumn Quaker. This is by Lilas Studio. Let's try again. Lilas Studio. And yeah, so we're going to be stitching this at Stitch New England. We're going to start it in June. So we start it over the summer. And we're just going to be stitching on it all summer and into the fall, maybe next year, because it's a big guy, but it's just awesome. I think stitching each one of these little motifs is just going to make me so happy. I mean, this turkey, if you haven't seen the turkey, I mean, look at that turkey right there. It is absolutely perfect. And then at the bottom, there's a little moose talking to a squirrel. They're just so happy. So anyway, lots of cute little folks hanging out, these little critters. Yeah, I'm loving them. So those 3 things, nope, I lied. There's 4. So I have to get 4 things up. I think, I mean, obviously I've got some fabric, so I'm going to pull some fabric with me and see how it works with the colors and so forth. But those are my plans, and I know there's a lot. And I know I was just watching the Sassy Southern Stitchers this morning, and they were talking about how they were going to do a Holy Week start, and I was like, oh, that would be great. I would love to do a Holy Week start. Can I do something? I think I can. I think I have something all kitted up that has, you know, a meaning. And one of the things I was thinking about is from the Nebby Needle. It came out last year, I believe, and it says it's the faith, having faith the size of a mustard seed, and that means a lot to my family. My oldest, Jules. Sometimes, you know, when things don't go right and you kind of start to lose a little faith, it's been a journey, and she's done amazing things, and I think you just have to have that little bit of faith. Even if it's a little mustard seed, you have to have a little bit of faith. And anyway, so that might be a surprise start, because I have it. It's all kitted. What's holding me back? Time and my job. But otherwise, yeah, maybe maybe I will. Maybe I'm going to convince myself right now to start it. Yeah, I just got to find it. Now I know where it is. But that's all of my plans. So let's talk about some haul. So haul. Well, the haul this time in 2 weeks, definitely not as bad as aftermarket, but it's not like great. So let me share with you some of the things that I got. I first wanted to share with you that I picked this up. This is Brenda Gervais sampling number 2. With it being so close to Easter, I thought that would be such a sweet little stitch to throw along. May change the color so that they kind of go a little bit more with some of the, at least maybe in the same tones, right? But to go with the Easter decorations, or maybe I'll just keep them like this. I haven't decided yet. But there's a cute little robin in there, and then it did come with the fabric to make the other 2 eggs. I love that little rusty button. Rusty safety pin with a little string of buttons. That's really cute. I definitely think I have buttons that are similar. So where did I find this little gemstone? That would be on the Fat Quarter Shop in the sale section. Yeah, and they still had it, and it was all kitted up, and I was like, woo woo, yay me. So got that. I also picked up all of the, sorry, it's going to be, I don't want to take it out, but I got the fabric and the threads for Violet's Blue. So I'm going to be stitching Violet's Blue on Atomic Ranch Pampas Reeds. Yeah, Pampas Reed. And it's going to be a 36 count. And I got all the called for colors. Yeah, and it's just, I know, very bad glare, guys. I'm so sorry. So this is Violet's Blue by Blackbird Design. And that will be a start at the, sorry for the crinkling. That'll be a start at the Library Stitches Retreat. And then here is the When Cardinals Appear. This is going to be Nise and Brandi's birthday start. And this will be stitched on Winter Moon, Edinburgh, 36 count. And then I've got all of the called for colors. I purchased it from 123 Stitch because I was like, click all of the things. That way I would have it and I wouldn't have to go and run around like a crazy person. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful and I'm looking forward to stitching this with them. The other thing that came in the mail, very exciting. This was my haul from Market from the Crafty Grimalkin. This is American Flag by Erin Elizabeth. I cannot wait to stitch this. I am so excited. I think all of my patterns from all but one were 4th of July. I think 4th of July and Halloween are my two favorite to stitch. Don't know why. I'm just drawn to them. But if you haven't seen, look at all that. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. I will be stitching it on Vintage Smoky. I think that's the called for color. Yep, 32 count Vintage Smoky, and I am stitching it with the 2 Dinky Dye called for colors. So I know I already loved the Dinky Dyes, and I think it's just going to be so beautiful. Thank you, Erin. You have created such an awesome pattern. This will definitely be getting started. I'm thinking, because, you know, I've already started all the things, and maybe if I can hold off until Memorial Day and get a handle on all the other things I've got to do. But I do have a spot somewhere on my Boss Me board that is patriotic. So if that patriotic gets called, I think this one is it first. And then I'll go to the Primrose stuff because I did get those. I have for the 4th of July rules, and I'm really looking forward to stitching that. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, still from the Crafty Grimalkin, I got some fabric that I ordered because I ordered all the new fabric from Fiber on a Whim. This is 36 count Moonstone and 36 count Malachite. And that green is actually kind of like my sweatshirt. A really beautiful modeling. And I'm sorry I don't take it out of the, I haven't taken it out of the bag. I have to roll it all up. I also got this fabric, and I'll tell you what it's for. I got Storm by Atomic Ranch, and I got 36 count. This is for my winter tiny town. Very excited. Wouldn't that be a beautiful, like, snowy day, gray background for a tiny town with all those blues? Yeah, I'm really excited. And then I got the Sapphire, and it's showing a lot brighter. It's actually a lot darker, but yeah, that's more true. But I got it's 32 count Sapphire because they ran out of the 36. But that's okay. That makes me happy. I can do that. That will be the linen. So I got those. And then I also picked up, while I was shopping, for Market, but she had it in stock. I got some Lady Dot Creates vintage twill tape because I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll need it. Okay, so there's that. And then I went to the Hoblob. I love that. I love when Laura and Brenda say that. It just cracks me up, the Hoblob. Anyway, while I was there, oh, actually, yes, this is from the Hoblob. This is some really pretty, I'm gonna see if I can grab it. But how pretty is this ribbon? And it's just like a very delicate, it's got a little stretch to it, but it's just very delicate. And I thought, wow, that would be really pretty on, you know, maybe one of my bee trims. I don't know, something spring. It just, this yellow is my second favorite color. It probably would be my first favorite color, but I don't look good in yellow. It washes me out. But I think yellow is just an absolutely beautiful color. So I got this trim. And then at the Hoblob, I picked up a couple of these light bulb pens. So they were super cheap, $1.29. I think when Brandi and I were at Fiddleheads, I think we paid like $7 for a pack. So they're way cheaper at the Hoblob. And then the next thing I got in the mail is my Stitch Quarterly bag. So if you get the Stitch Quarterly bag and you don't want me to ruin what's in here and you're surprised, turn away, because I'm going to show it because it's super cute. All right, first of all, can we talk about this bag? First, it's way bigger than the normal size bags, okay? And it's got this little sweet bunny. It's a pretty blue. I like it. And then inside, let's see, we've got the pattern, and here is the pattern. It's the Bunny Bakery. I don't think I would stitch this, but I do have a group of girls in my cross stitch club that I think would absolutely love this pattern. So maybe this will go into that pattern stash for them, or maybe I'll have a drawing and one of the girls will win it. Who knows? We'll figure something out. But I think the girls will definitely love this little bunny. So there's that bunny, and then that's what came. And then inside also was, sorry, the bunny is falling. There's the floss and the fabric, 14 count, and this little bunny. Maybe my daughter Lily, she's a cross stitcher. Maybe she would want to stitch this. I'm sure. I don't know if I want to give her the needle minder because I love this needle minder, but maybe she'll persuade me because she tends to do that. But there's the colors. The colors are really pretty. They're bright. They make me happy. And then it comes with a needle, in case you didn't know, and it's on 14 count, a blue 14 count fabric. And then the other little treat inside was this mini pink Mad for Plaid bag. So this should just be a great little notions bag that you could, keep tossed in this big guy. If you're a quilter like me, this is such a big bag that it would be great if you're going to a retreat. You could put some of your blocks in here, and then you could have your scissors and other things, maybe some rulers. Or if you're a paper piecer and you were, stitching some hexies, you could have the hexies in here, and you can have all the other stuff in here. I don't know, but I love that they came up with a new size. That excites me. So not disappointed. I'm typically not disappointed, even if it's not my style. It may suit my daughter, or it may definitely suit my students, but I will definitely find a home for it regardless. Or maybe it'll be a giveaway. Who knows? I did get a little stitchy kindness. This is from Beth. Beth, you are such a sweet person. I wasn't, when you just have those really bad days, and I came home and I got this envelope in the mail, and I was like, who sent me a St. Patrick's Day little card? Well, Beth did. And inside it is a beautiful note, and it's just, I am a firm believer that God gives you things when you need them. And I always do believe he gives you things you can't handle. And the past couple weeks have been really, really rough on my family. We had a family member pass away, and that was just really, really horrific and terrible and sad. But, you just need something on those days. And I got this little treat in the mail. It's not a lot, it's just a little, but in here is this little, a little St. Patrick's Day, and then in here is like a little floss, and then a little scissor bling. Not a lot, but again, sometimes you just know when things are put in front of you, they're there for a reason, and he knows, right? Why? Who am I to question? Who am I to question why? But on happier notes. So I just want to say thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I am so looking forward to meeting you at this Library Stitches retreat in April. And I'm gonna stop my haul now, and then I'm gonna talk about the Library Stitches retreat because I'm so excited. Stitches retreat is happening this April. I believe it starts on the April 18th, 19th, 20th. I could be wrong, but I'm going up on Thursday. It starts on Friday, and so it's all day Friday, all day Saturday. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. So many of my friends are going to be there. People that I've never met in person, but I always Zoom with, are going to be there. And I'm so looking forward to meeting them and giving them a big giant hug. And then for friends that I've already met, it's been so long. It's been since Stitch New England. I can't wait to meet them. So I'm so looking forward to it. But for those of you, because retreat season has already started, and it's just going to ramp up. So for those of you who are looking for something to bring, I figured I would just share what I've only been to one retreat, so this will be my second, but what I made for my first retreat, and then what I am bringing to my next retreat. So here is my little case. And if you're a kid from the 80s, this reminds me of one of those caboodles, the ones that you'd put your makeup in. But yeah, so this is, I picked this up on eBay, and I think it was like $6, and it was filled with red velvet, and it was totally not my jam. But I got inspired by Kathy from Linen and Scraps, and she had shown a train case, and I kind of went down that road on eBay. She had shown a train case that I thought was a great idea, and I was looking for something small because I didn't want a huge case. But what I decided to do is I found this. It had a little key. I have it somewhere, but anyway, let me show you. And this was before I started filming, so I had no previews of what do you call it? I didn't take any pictures. I should have taken some pictures, but I'm sorry, you're going to only get to see the finished version. And my daughter's going to plug in her phone while we were talking, so just if the phone shakes a little, just ignore that. Okay, so I have started covering it with stitching stickers that make me happy, and just other things that make me happy. So on the top I have I cross stitch. That's what I do, and I know things. A Game of Thrones reference for cross stitching, of course. I got this one from Pam at Stitch New England. If you see me with, is that right? No, this one. Cross stitch makes everything better, because you know it absolutely does. I got this one, this Maine sticker. I think I got it from one of my friends at Brandi's table. That is in the Round Robin group, but at the time I don't remember which one. I got this super cute squirrel from Brandi, and every time I see a squirrel, I think of my friend Brandi. This one is the 2023 Stitch New England retreat. This is a sticker that I got somewhere. Be Kind, Primrose Cottage stickers. Let's flip it on the back side. Wicked Awesome Stitching Weekend from that weekend. I'd rather be stitching a needleworker sticker. There's some bees, but anyway, I plan on covering it with stickers from all of my, so we had a little technical difficulty because my daughter's phone was going to die and she had to replug it in. So I was talking about the stickers and what my plans were, and my plans are to continue to get them, collect them from friends at retreats, or if I go to a place. The other thing, you know, here's one from Zan. She is the Crazy Band Lady on YouTube. She's awesome. And then here's another one from Sarah Knits. She was at the Stitch New England retreat, and I got one of her stickers. So anyway, I feel like this is my travel case, right? And I want to cover it with the stickers, because back in the day you used to put those stickers on your luggage. So let's look and see what's inside of my case. And here's what it looks like. So in here I've got some, all of my fabric inside is Tula Pink. This is all turquoisey blue. The turquoise blue color is frog fabric. I don't know if you can see the frog like right above that Wicked Awesome. And I'm really trying to keep the frogs away. And that's why I chose this. Also because blue is my favorite color. But anyway, let's see what I've got in here. So I've got that, and then at the bottom I've got some Tula Pink squirrel fabric, because I am a giant squirrel, just like my friend Brandi, because the shiny things attract us, and we just go squirrel, squirrel, and we we get distracted. But yeah, so let's take a look. I've got in here, let's see. Hope that makes it a little bit clearer. All right, I've got my unthreader, my picker from that quarter shop. I think it's by Lori Holt. I have a highlighter that is a friction highlighter. So when I highlight a pattern, if it's not a working copy, I can just use heat and it'll come off. I have my corner gauge that we got at Stitch New England. And this is how I finished mine in this little case. I stitched mine in the blues because I wanted it to match. And this is the corner gauge that we received. So if we're going to start a project, we need to have a corner gauge to start with. I also have some little floss wands. So if you have to, unfortunately, frog, hopefully not at a retreat, but if you do, you have them. I have a little teeny tiny pair of Kohana snips. And they're magneted. They're magneted. I don't know if that's a word. There's a magnet that's attracting them up top right there. Down here, those little snips came with this little case, and I'm going to use that as an ort container to hold my orts. But I also I got this little frog from Kathy from Two Needles Pulling Thread, and it's supposed to keep the frogs away. And I teach computer science and engineering at the middle school. Before, I used to be a science teacher for 19 years, and I've changed in the last 8 years to be a STEM teacher. And one of the things we do to teach kids with computer science and coding is to have them talk to the duck, and that gets them to talk out loud. So one of my little students gave me this little baby duck, and I thought, well, that's just perfect, because now the frog has a friend. And then, because one of the things I give my students are rubber ducks that they sit on, they bring them to class, they sit on their table. One of my students gave me this rubber duck. And it's a rubber duck that's dressed like a frog. And I thought that would be perfect. So they're going to be my little keepers inside my case. I also have a pin cushion. I have some counting pins inside. I have a key ring, but it could easily be a what do you call it? Some floss bling, which is what it really is going to be once I find the right pattern for it. But my friend, she gave it to me, and it says beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. She gave it to me for Christmas, my friend Shannon. And she is not a cross stitcher, nor is she a quilter, but she saw it, and because it had these little charms, it has a scissor, it has a measuring tape, it has a sewing machine, she thought it was perfect for me, and it is, and I love it. Okay, so that's, and up top I have this little sunflower and band, I don't know, is it a treble clef? Jules, tell me. Mm-hmm. Yes, Jules says it's a treble clef. It's the backwards S.
I think, I don't remember.
All right, I don't know. I never ever took music. So, but there's, those came from Zan, the crazy band lady, when I met her at Stitch New England. Then I'm gonna lift this up. I know, I'm sorry guys, I probably should have done an overhead thing. But inside, let me show you what it looks like on the inside. Down here, okay, and then I'll talk to you with what I've got in here. Inside of it, I've got this little ort container that I made myself, that when you snap it together, you could do that. So it's a little bit bigger. I have a measuring tape, just in case I need to use it. I have a needle book, again from Zan. Zan was super generous and kind, and it was wonderful to meet her at the retreat. She gifted me this needle book that she had made, and I put all of my needles in it, so I've got them there. And then I have a pencil. I have a little notebook. This notebook, Rhode Island Deb. This came from Rhode Island Deb with some stickers on it. I've got some Wonder Clips just in case I need them for holding my projects. I have some line keepers in case I'm having trouble keeping track of where I'm at on a pattern. And for my Halo Go, I have some lens wipes. The one other thing that is not in here is lotion. I need to put some Stitchers lotion in it, and I have some handy in this space somewhere. I'll have to make sure I throw it in. And then, and you can see more of this squirrel. So that's my squirrel fabric. So yeah, that is my stitchy case, and that will just sit. And then my light. So I have a little metal easel. This sits behind it, open, and then I have the Halo Go over it so I can see. But yeah, that's my retreat case, and hopefully it inspires you. And you know, if you've never, do you need it? No, but it's a nice place. So if I'm not at my chair, people know that this is mine, and if they leave me a gift, they could put it in there. I know I went around in the morning on that Saturday with my little tokens that I was going to give, because I made gifts for my table mates. I made those the keepers, but then I also made gifts for other people. And so I went around in the morning and I just left them at people's stations, especially having something that you know who that person is. That's a helpful thing. So that is what I will have at the retreat for me, and then I can just put all the little nice things in there. One of the other, I forgot to share this, but one of the other ladies that was at the retreat, she made this super cute little counting pin, and I just can't wait to make a little pillow that I can put that in. But it just makes me happy right now. Yeah, so those are all my fun things that I keep in there. Oh, Band-Aids. I'm going to put some Band-Aids if I didn't say that before. Band-Aids, because sometimes you get cracked fingers and nobody wants blood. I have fall in the spring. That's when my eczema acts up really badly, and my skin peels. So I always have lotion, but sometimes it cracks so much that it bleeds. So having those Band-Aids will help a lot. But yeah, that's my retreat case, and I hope it inspires you. Thank you for sticking around. If you are here, I'm going to quickly talk about the quilt that's been behind me. The quilt that's behind me is a cave facet pattern. It's called Green Boxes, and I used, instead of using Cave's fabric, I actually used Tula Pink's Curiouser and Curiouser line of fabric. The fabric line actually came out when my daughter was dancing in the ballet of Alice in Wonderland. At that time, she was the red bird, and then she danced it again last year, and she was the fish. I think that's correct. She's shaking her head. Yes. So this was meaningful. I thought it was just a lot of fun. I ended up doing this as a stitch along with my friend Joanne, and we would come to my house on Saturdays and we would cut everything out. So each one of these blocks is individually, like that one little block, we cut out that piece, and we had to make our own patterns, right? And then we had to learn how to make, now we were beginning like quilters at this time, and we had to learn how to do a Y seam to sew that together, which we learned, and now we know how to sew a Y seam, right? That's what you do. We also wanted to make sure that the Alice was always facing in the same direction, so we had to make sure and plan out the fabric so that when we put the pieces together, you know, she was still upright, so that the quilt is directional. And it's got that three-dimensional quality. You know, it looks like there's a building block together. So what we did was we double batted it so that it was really puffy and thick, and then we stitched in the ditch along every single one of these little seams. And then on the characters, there's a loose thread right there. I'll have to snip that off. For the characters, we ended up doing a little bit of free motion quilting and giving some texture and outline. So I outlined around here, I outlined around her head, all around her hair, and then in the rose and this little accent here, and the collar of the shirt. So It was there was a lot of detail and work in it. The back of it is the rose petals dripping down from that collection. It's my favorite it's my favorite fabric of the whole line. So it looks like that, and all the roses are dripping the paint. But it's a very heavy quilt because we did use that double batting, and this stays on her bed. Yeah, it's a good one. So since I finished that block of the month, the Barnstar sampler quilt, I haven't started any new quilts because, in case you did not hear, I will be a vendor at the Library Stitchers Retreat, and I will be selling my whipper keepers. So I'm hoping to have 80. Right now I have 63 whipper keepers. I'm hoping to have at least 80 in all different kinds of fabrics, so that there's something for everyone. So if you are coming to the Library Stitchers Retreat and you are interested, I will have, except obviously there'll be cash and credit card, Venmo, PayPal, whatever your heart desires. I think I've got them all. And I will also have little wooden notions, so the thread dolls. If you've never seen the thread dolls, hey Jules, can you grab the basket of dolls over there for me, please? I'll have her grab those, and then I'll have some needle cases, some needle minders, some floss winders. Thanks, Juju. So here is a partially dressed doll. They come in 2 sizes, and this is how I use them. I use them to wrap trim, and they all stand up in a basket. But they would also work really well if you have any of those shoe boxes. You could line them up and your dolls could be like this. But I kind of want to see the girls because I think they're super cute. So yeah, so that's how I use my thread dolls. Like I said, so I'll have those at the retreat. Yeah, but I'm excited. So all of my quilting time has been spent making whipper keepers, which is exciting. And I hope everybody likes them and they enjoy them. But yeah, that's my quilt, and that's my quilting, what I've been doing. I'm really looking forward to the summer because I've been inspired, and I'm really looking forward to actually having some time to quilt for me. So anyway, that's my quilting. All right, folks, thanks for hanging in. I feel like this is a big guy. So my daughter's shaking her head. Yes, it is, Mom. Okay, so I have some giveaways before I do that little tutorial, but I had 4 people not claim, and maybe they don't want them anymore. Who knows? But I do have I have the pattern from the Proper Stitcher, and I thank you again, Annie, so much for your generosity. It really means a lot. And then I have 4 needle minders. And like I said, so here's what we're going to do. For these giveaways, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you are entering for the needle minders, please be in the United States, because I learned that the hard way. It was a very expensive trip to Germany, but no worries, Bridgie. I'm so happy that you won. And so for the needle minders, please be in the United States, but anybody feel free to enter for Annie's PDF pattern. You must be 18 years old, because I'm going to need to ask for your address, and I don't want to get in trouble. So yeah, so let's try this again, folks. I hope somebody wins that wants this. So if you're not interested, don't bother. But if you are, I would love to give them to you. So let's try this again. Rather than pick from that original video, we're just gonna try it again. So let's try. If you are interested in winning this needle minder, I like cross stitch, coffee, and maybe 3 people, please use the word coffee. If you are interested in this needle minder, let's see, let me do that. Okay, that's better. Maybe not. I'm so sorry. All right, it says, I cross stitch because stabbing people is frowned upon. Please use the word frown. Okay, so frown. The next one, may the floss be with you. If you are a Star Wars fan, may the floss be with you. This is Grogu, in case you don't know. Use the word floss. And last, for the needle minders, if you are interested in this salt box, feeling salty needle minder, please use the word salt. Let's use salt. Okay. And then if you are interested in winning Annie the Proper Stitcher's Strength and Dignity pattern, which is going to be an April 1st start, please use the word strength. Okay. Again, please like, subscribe, be 18 or older. For the needle minders, be in the United States. Anybody enter for the PDF of Strength and Dignity, and join me on my birthday sale. I would love to do that with you. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I hope you found something that inspires you. I just wanted to say, like, you know how sometimes when you're overwhelmed and you have a lot, like I have a lot of things I've started, but I've been keeping these little cards, and every time I actually finish, when I fully finish it, or I should say finish it, because there's a couple things I have that I haven't fully finished, but this is since January. Do you know how many cards are here? 10. That means I finished 10 things. I finished 10 things since January. Like, who am I? This is what inspires me, right? Because if I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I haven't done anything, I can look at the cards and I can say, oh yeah, I did wisdom, gathering clover, my secret stitch, the Valentine's Day, right? All these things I've done. And yeah, so I just want to say, you know, one stitch at a time, right? Take one stitch at a time, enjoy your stitching, enjoy the process, and you know, every little day, do a little bit more. So I will see you in a couple weeks, 2 weeks, I believe. So I hope you have a good 2 weeks. And in the meantime, happy Easter if you celebrate Easter, and enjoy Holy Week. If you're going to do a Holy Week stitch along, I might be joining you. And again, I hope you have a great 2 weeks, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.